Hey, I know this is a super weird angle. I have my phone propped against the Closing the Circle box, and I have a little container holding my camera slanted at an angle because I want to show you. I posted a picture already on my YouTube tab. I already pressed the 6 shadows from Closing the Circle, and this is the order that they're in up here. And so I had 2 extra shadows. One was a gift with purchase. Well, both of them were gifts with purchase. So I pressed the one already that was in here. So I have one left, and I thought, let me show you how I did it. I did Google how to press shadows, and this was my first time like pressing loose shadows, and I was so excited. Instead of using the other 6 pan like this one, I had a small 4 pan, and I had Y2K in here. And so I'm just going to take this larger container from the other 6 pan and this one and put them in here. So that way there's just not a lot of dead space. And if I do get more loose shadows, which I really feel like I might because it is so easy to press, and if I get a large enough container, I can, do my pans and then I can share the rest with someone else. I used to do that back in the day when I used to use, when I used to get MAC Cosmetics loose shadows, but I was using them loosely. I wasn't pressing them, but I was giving some away because they last forever. So this is my last one. I have to remember where the lens is. And I opened it. Where are we? And I just dumped it into this container is from Bahama Breeze. I was going to use that palette that had the wells in it, but then when I started thinking and it's saying you need to have enough rum to mix it with the alcohol, I thought I'm going to need something larger than that. And so this has worked out really well. And y'all, this is super easy. It took me 41 minutes to do the first 6. And so it is a little tedious, and you see I have like a mess over here, but it's contained. I have down paper towels and all of that. So I took out one of the droppers that I had in my kit, and I have this huge tub of alcohol, 91%, so it dries really quick, and you can use 50%. So I squeezed the dropper, put it into the alcohol, and then take it out. And so you see the alcohol in here. And if you put too much, it'll just take longer to dry. So I kind of gotten a feel for like how much I'm going to need based on how much shadow is in the container. And then you just mix it all together. And you want it to turn into like a paste consistency. And the notes says it'll turn into a blob. What does it say? Yeah, it'll turn into a blob, and where you can just like move the whole thing around and all of it will like move together. And the 91%, as I just said, it does dry quick. So I'm just putting it all together. You saw how it was when it was first in here. So I'm putting it all together and just smashing down bits, and some of it is drying already. And I'm making sure I'm getting underneath and wherever it may be dry. And so we have our blob here. And so this is what it looks like. And then it said to put it inside of your container or whatever you're putting it in. These are lipstick pans. That's why they're so wide. I probably would rather much have the round pans, but these were a really good price. And my only concern is that it wasn't going to be enough shadow to fill the pan, but it actually is, even though it's very shallow. So you just take the blob, and you see how it is all together as a blob, and you put it into the pan. And scrape this off, and then and then I would take a paper towel after I finish with this and just clean this out in between. And then I'll pick up the pan and try to smooth it out. So you see how it looks like it's a little bit. And so I've been just smoothing it out. I think this is the one that looked like it just had a little bit of shadow in it. And I do want it to fill all the corners of it. And so what I'm doing right now is just moving it around because I want it to be in all four corners. And because it is just a little in here, I'm wondering, well, I'll probably hit pan really quick, which is not a problem. This has excited me because having loose shadows and pressing them into press shadows, you can mix up your own shades. Like this being just a little bit, I could have put like more pink in here, or like if I had just random loose shadows, you can mix up your own colors, which is what they do in the first place. They have powders and they mix them. And so now that I have this on all corners, I'll lay this and I'll scrape the spatula on here. And there is like some blank spaces, but yeah, this was not a lot of shadow. So I may hit pan really quick, but as long as the formula is dry, it should be okay. And it says, I'm going to show you how I then pressed it. And so I took a piece of paper towel. Y'all, my fingers, they don't look messy, but on my end, they look messy. So I've been putting a piece of paper towel over it. And I remember saying in the live stream tonight that this City Beauty lip oil fits perfectly in this pan. So I feel where the pan is. And I just press on top. And so I'm just pressing it down. And it's not even. This is really a little bit of shadow. But I'm really excited. Like I may just buy, not all the time, but every now and then single shadows, especially if the price is low. Because this is a very easy process. It's tedious because it can be messy. And I did spill that dark blue on my carpet in 2 different spots here at my desk. So that is it, y'all. And it says it's ready. And because the 91% dries faster, the notes say it's ready when you can swipe your finger across it and get shadow up without disturbing the rest of the product. And so I am still going to leave it open, and I'm going to leave the other ones open. So these are these two. That really is a tiny bit. Yes, I'm going to leave these open all night just to be sure. And I know they are dry, but I am just like super excited. And so even rubbing all over it, but you know what, doing that looked like it hard pan. So that might be a thing too. Like, are you going to hard pan or me? Like, I don't know. I hope not. But sorry if I poked you in the eye. And so I am excited. And y'all know I don't use my fingers for makeup. So what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to use a paper towel, because it does look like it wants to hard pan as I swipe my fingers in it. But you know what? Look at this, y'all. And it is not disturbing the shadow that's in here. So these are ready to be used. But I'm still just let them sit open all night. And this was super easy. And I found the instructions online. And I didn't want to watch a video about it. I printed out the instructions. And so this is closing the circle. I am just so giddy learning something new here. And these are the 2 other shadows I had from before. And so I am just super excited. And so how I've been cleaning this out, which I am going to use soap and water, but just in between the loose shadows, I've just been wiping this out and putting this paper towel that I've used for this in my trash bag down there. And so I'm going to close up the alcohol. Yeah, so this is where I was working. So yeah, everything was contained. But that'll be it for this video. I do hope that this was helpful, and I'm just excited. So thank you for being here to share my excitement with me, and you will see my face soon. Thanks. Bye.